Welcome to Silent Screams. Tonight's story is not about monsters. It's about something much worse. A wrong turn, a stranger's smile, and the moment you realize you're completely alone. This is the story of a road trip gone wrong. We call it Back Road. Part 1. The start of the trip. It was supposed to be a quick weekend getaway. Just 3 friends, Chris, Maya, and Dev, driving from Spokane to Glacier National Park. It was fall, October. Leaves were turning, skies were crisp, and gas was just cheap enough to justify the trip. Chris was the driver, Dev the planner, Maya the wild card. She found a small hiking spot about 45 minutes off the main highway. Nobody knows about it, she said, just us and the trees. They packed light, a tent, snacks, water, and a printed map because the place had no service. It wasn't on Google Maps, just a pin Maya found on Reddit. That was the first mistake. Part 2. The detour. They left early Friday morning. For the first few hours, everything was perfect. Podcasts, jokes, scenic views. Then came the turn. Off the highway, onto Cedar Ridge Road, a narrow gravel road that wound through endless pine forest. They passed only 2 other vehicles in the first hour, both old pickups. Both drivers stared as they passed, not waving. At first, Dev joked, either we're in a horror movie, or this is just what small towns are like. Nobody laughed. At mile marker 72, they lost signal completely. Part 3. The gas station. Around 2 p.m., they pulled into a rundown gas station. No signs, just a pump, a closed diner, and an old dog tied to a post. The windows were boarded from the inside. Chris knocked on the store door. Eventually, a man opened it halfway, mid-60s, bearded, stained flannel, tired eyes. You kids lost? Maya explained they were heading to Arrowtail Trailhead. Don't go past mile marker 90. Turn around before that. Understand? Before they could ask more, he shut the door. They never made it to mile marker 90. Part 4. The wrong turn. Somewhere after marker 87, the road split. No signs, no directions. Chris chose right. That was mistake number 2. The road narrowed and turned from gravel to dirt. Trees pressed in close. The sun dipped behind the hills. They drove for another 15 minutes and didn't pass a single person, car, or structure. Then they saw the house. Part 5. The house in the woods. It wasn't abandoned. Not exactly. A 2-story farmhouse, tucked deep into the trees. Lights off, curtains drawn. A broken fence, and a satellite dish pointed into the ground. Chris wanted to turn around, but they were nearly out of gas. The gauge was blinking. Maya swore she saw a driveway back up the road. They pulled in to check. There was no cell service, no Wi-Fi, no phone. But there was a security camera, tucked under the gutter, a red light blinking. And the front door? It was open. Part 6. Inside. They didn't go in. Not at first. Chris shouted a few times, no answer. Then they heard music, a low hum like static-filled AM radio playing from somewhere inside the house. Dev suggested they leave. Now. But Maya stepped onto the porch and peeked inside. There's a phone, she said. Old landline. Maybe we can call someone. She went in. Chris followed. Dev hesitated, then stepped inside too. The door shut behind them. Part 7. What they found. The house wasn't dusty. It wasn't empty. A jacket was hung by the door. A steaming cup of coffee sat on the counter. The music? Coming from a room down the hall. A recording of a sermon, skipping on a scratch. Chris picked up the phone. No dial tone. Maya checked the back. No one home. Dev opened a drawer in the kitchen and found only photographs. Dozens of them, all Polaroids, all of people, standing in that same house. Every photo taken from the same angle, the staircase. And in every one, the person wasn't smiling. They looked scared. One of them was wearing the same jacket Chris had just seen by the door. Part 8. Realization. They ran for the car. It wouldn't start. Chris popped the hood. Everything looked intact until Dev saw it. The spark plug wires had been cut, clean, recently. Someone didn't want them leaving. Then Maya pointed at the trees. There were wires running from the house into the woods. Not power lines, cameras. And behind one tree, someone was standing. Part 9. Nightfall. They couldn't run. Not far, not with night coming fast. So they did the only thing they could. They hid. They locked themselves inside the house, blocked the doors, covered the windows, turned off every light. That night, someone walked the porch. They didn't knock. They didn't speak. They just walked, slowly, in circles, until just before dawn. Part 10. The final escape. At first light, Chris said enough was enough. They found a rusted ATV behind the shed, one tire half flat, gas tank barely full. It was their only shot. Dev stayed behind to rig the house with noise traps. Maya rode with Chris. They drove fast, reckless. 12 miles through dirt roads, not stopping. They found the highway again near mile marker 91, flagged down a trucker, called the police. When authorities returned to the house, it was gone. Not burned, not abandoned. Just gone. No house, no fence, no coffee cup, no photos. Just flat earth and broken trees. Epilogue. Calm, serious outro with long pause. No one found any signs of forced entry. No one found Aaron. No one found the old man from the gas station. Maya deleted her Reddit. Dev moved to a city and hasn't left since. Chris? He still drives that highway, but he'll never take a back road again. You've been listening to Silent Screams, and if you ever see a house in the woods with a door already open, don't go inside.